Hello Blue Noses, and yeah, welcome back to the channel. Today is Friday the 12th of April, the day before we play Coventry City at home at St Andrews at Knighthead Park, but also a day and a bit after a shocking 1-0 defeat to Cardiff City. Now, it wasn't what we all hoped for at all. Nearly 21,000 Blue Noses inside St Andrews on a Wednesday night, which, to be fair, is a decent turnout for a Wednesday night. We're expecting much more against Coventry. That game's probably got just under 2,000 tickets remaining, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, so here I am to preview the Coventry game, as well as give a very much disappointed review on the Cardiff game. Now, the reason why it's been recorded on a Friday is because my sheer disappointment on the Wednesday night. And yeah, it was one of the worst feelings I think I felt down the Blues in a long time. Just a feeling of complete dejection. I don't know where we go from here, to be honest. And we'll come on to why very shortly. So I'll start off with the first half, of which I actually compiled notes for. The second half, I think I just sat slumped in my seat and I was unsure what I was watching. But we'll start with the first half, and we'll start with a few positives, of which there were none. I would say the performance in the first half wasn't for a lack of effort. It was just a lack of quality, which has once again been the story of our season. Trying to play forward. Look, we're in a must-win game here against a Cardiff side who have nothing to play for. And every time we go on the attack, we insist on stopping and turning backwards and passing sideways. And Jay Stansfield was not played in once in the entire first half and the second half. His one shot, he created himself on the edge of the box and won a corner out of it. Yeah, so if we're not playing forward on the attack, we're never going to get the ball to our striker and we're never going to score goals. Yeah, it's just not going to work. I do say a lack of effort, that wasn't a problem. But we then had Juninho Bacuna bottling 50-50 challenges in our own half, which in a relegation dogfight, you've got to be there and you've got to put the work in and you've got to challenge for every ball. He then also went down the other end and had a free kick, a great opportunity, almost like a corner, but closest to the box. A great opportunity to, I don't know, maybe get one of our players' heads on the ball and have a shot. But no, he decides to, I don't even know how to describe it. The ball was, it just went so high, it just lofted completely over the goal, missed every single one of our players, had all gone up for the free kick, and yeah, another opportunity wasted. And then we move on to Captain Sanderson. Now, where do we start with Sanderson? I've said before, he's not a bad player, and he's got talent. However, he's not a captain, and he's not a player who should be in that leadership position at Blues. He shows no signs of leadership, and we just can't have it anymore. And do I say, oh yeah, that should be given to Ruddy? I'm not sure, because you can't get a message out from being a goalkeeper all the way up to your strikers. A centre-back or a central midfielder is the best place for a captain, but we don't have any leaders. And it's just shown by Sanderson telling players to throw backwards when we're trying to play up the line. He's like, just like put it backwards, or you want to throw going back to Ruddy. Now, why do you want to throw back to Ruddy for? The guy can't kick a ball. He'll just blast it out for a throw-in, or you never know. We might concede and he passes it out to one of their players. So, yeah. I remember, we have a throw-in down the left-hand side of the pitch. Lee Buchanan's trying to take it. We have 3 players coming short. He misses every single one of them. And he still holds on to the ball. And yeah, it's just, we're not giving ourselves any options down the line from throw-ins. We must be the worst team in the league of throw-ins. It's honestly a joke. Yeah, and then another throw-in that we get. We're actually in a rush to take this one, believe it or not. Lee Buchanan rush shows the ball. He's looking for his options to throw it. He doesn't throw the ball because he's got no options. And then Sanderson's there going, slow the ball down. Just slow down. We are 0-0 against Cardiff City in a relegation battle. We can't be slowing the ball down. We're not playing for a draw. We're playing for a win. But that message didn't seem to get through to any of our players. And the only form of urgency seen was through Jay Stansfield, who once again just ran his socks off. And that's telling of what the fans thought of that at the end of the game. So yeah, once again, it was a wasted 45 minutes, something that's becoming too much of a common occurrence. On to the second half, of which I can't really remember too much. I remember the goal very vividly in my head. We're on the ascendancy. We have a good 10-minute spell of peppering their goal. I'd say peppering their box with potential opportunities, not actual real opportunities, because we can't do that. But yeah, we have a decent 10-minute spell, and we're on the up, and the fans are there. The fans are behind them. That's something that can't be denied from Wednesday night. The fans were there. The fans showed up and were somewhat quite loud, despite the nervy feeling in the stadium. So yeah, so we're on the up. Then Paik intercepts, takes a really bad touch, like literally trampolines off his foot, and goes straight to their player, who plays a ball down the wing, who crosses it back for a nice finish into Ruddy's near post corner. And I don't think he could have saved it, to be fair. He's just on his feet. He's trying to get himself centralised and back over. And it's been hit with good pace and power and accuracy from Josh Bowler just to sit in the bottom left corner. So yeah, that was the goal. A crap goal to concede. Like, just dreadful once again. Just more individual mistakes leading to our own downfall. And this is why I really can't see a way out of this now. And yeah, if it doesn't sort itself out in the next 4 games, we are going down. And I believe now that we probably are the side that's going to go down. Whether it's going to be in second bottom or third bottom, I think third bottom will be a little bit better. But yeah, it's not looking good at all. And then that moves us on to the final whistle. The final whistle where boos just rang around St Andrews from the Tilton, from the Kop, for every single player bar one. Now, we waited for the whole squad, our permanent squad, may I add, to reach the end of the Tilton goal and carried on back to the dressing room until Jay Stansfield came around, our lone player, a guy who could literally just sit there and not do anything, which he decides not to do, because he's going to sit there and do nothing, the same as he's going to put in so much effort, and he's still not going to get rewarded for it. But he tries and tries and tries. The kid's 19 years old, and he's pushing himself to try and help a team that, if we go down, he's not going to see again. And it's just going to be another stepping stone in his potentially very good and very long career. And he gets a standing ovation. People walking up the stairs to get out the ground, turning around and applauding Stansfield as he walks around the Kop and the Tilton. And you can tell he's frustrated. You can tell it means a lot to him. And he's just not getting any help. And it just says so much about our current squad when our lone player, our lone striker, is getting a round of applause when the rest of our team got booed off. These are players that are meant to be taking us forward for the next few years onto our next journey, hopefully it's the Premier League, and they got booed off the pitch. Now, that brings me on to why I think we're going to go down. These players failed to respond under Rooney when Rooney called them out, said they had no bollocks, and yeah, they took it really badly. They didn't show up for him. They didn't bounce back. They didn't show an ounce of fight. And basically was like, oh, Mr. Rooney's being nasty to me, so please like us. As the players, please like us. And that's what's been going for the players this year. The fact that the fans have always been on their side. I think there's a small minority of us who've kind of been like, well, the players are actually letting us down as well. It's not just the managers. And I think that on Wednesday night finally turned. I think players would have seen the fact that the fans have now somewhat turned against them. And no doubt will turn up again on Saturday and against Rotherham and against Huddersfield, probably sold out away ends, and then we'll sell out Norwich on the last day of the season, because the fans are going to follow this club, not the players. They're going to follow the club through thick and thin, and these players aren't going to be here in the long haul. But for the short term, they need to show something. I don't think they will, because now they've lost the fans, the only thing that was keeping them going. I can't see them bouncing back. I can't see them turn this around, because they're going to be even more nervous to show up and put in a performance. And yeah, that's why I believe we're headed for the drop. The second relegation I've seen in my time following football. First, obviously, being relegation from the Premier League, and now we're going to be in League One for the first time since my dad was 12. Now that's a good 30 odd years ago, 1991 or 92, I believe. Yeah, since last relegation down to League One. And I don't know. My mind at the moment can't comprehend it. I'm trying not to think about it. But yeah, that brings me on to the Coventry game. Now, the Coventry game, they're on fire. I don't think their game against Man United will affect them. Like, the players, I just can't see it. People say, oh yeah, they might have their mind on the next week, but I don't think so. I think they'll be up for it. They're in the playoff push. And Ellis Sims is on fire after having some backlash at the start of the season for not being able to hit a barn door. He's now scoring for fun, and it's something we can't do. And if he scores one goal, or if any of their players score one goal, Callum O'Hare's probably going to pop up with another one like he always does against us. But yeah, if they score and we're done, we can't come back from a 1-goal deficit, and we can't score goals. I think they'll have too much quality for us. They're probably going to have so much more fight than we do. Our players, I think, as much as they say, and Laird said that they want to survive, I think in the back of their own heads they probably know they're not good enough, or they know they can't perform very well together. I think they've probably accepted themselves that it looks like they're going to go down. And yeah, what can you do? There's only so much the fans can do, and I'm somewhat sick of it, because all you see online, I know it's the job of the admin team and stuff to get the fans to rally behind the players. I'll be the 12th man, but what about the other 11 men on the pitch? You can't be the 12th man when we're lacking 11 players. Yeah, that's that, and that's a very short preview on the Coventry game. I don't think I have the mental capacity to do a full-on preview for that game, because I know and I have a feeling inside me that we're going to come out with a loss. And for that reason, I'm going to predict 2-0. 2-0 victory to Coventry City as a perfect warm-up game before Man United. And we'll probably have a little bit of a warm-up game as well, for the last half an hour against Cardiff, which was honestly the most disgraceful performance I've seen. Leave the past 60 minutes behind, that half an hour where we failed to try and score a goal and have a shot, which was just spent passing the ball around. It got to the 87th minute and the players were passing the ball sideways and backwards, and just there's no urgency, and it's going to see us go down. And that's really hard to say. I think we're done. So I'll do a team prediction, or what I think my team should be for this game. Now I would say bring in the under-21s, but I think it'll do them more detriment than actual benefit to their careers. They're going to be here for us in League One, but they need to continue enjoying their football and learning how to play in order to get us back out. So we started Ruddy in goal. Laird, what do you say? He slipped off and he wasn't good enough. I'll bring Cody Drama back in at right back. Sanderson, as the captain, he has to play. Once again, you're clutching at straws, hoping that he's going to show up. And then Iwu, yeah, he's going to have to play. And once again, the talent's there, but the consistency and the quality just isn't shown on the pitch. So he remains at centre-back. And Lee Buchanan, our player of the season, arguably, he starts at left-back. Now, Bielik is a guaranteed starter, although he's missing for a lot of the Cardiff game. Next to him, maybe Sunjic. because why not? We need some fight in the team, and he might not give us much quality, but we need some fight. So that's at least one step in the right direction. In front of them two, I'll probably go with Paik. Like, he made the mistake for the goal, but he's our only player with some real quality, and like he's technically gifted, and maybe, just maybe, he can create something out of nothing. Talking about creating something out of nothing, Janina Bakuna. People say, oh, it's obvious he cares. You know, he brought the players round to the fans against Cardiff when they were going to show off the dressing room. But Janina Bakuna, who I said was a guaranteed starter, I now believe must be dropped. And I know they're not risking George Hall, but George Hall for me starts on that left or on the right, either or, and Miyoshi plays. Miyoshi shows some heart and some drive to actually see us go forward. So yeah, George Hall and Koji Miyoshi on the wings, which is not going to happen, but that's what I believe should happen. And then obviously Jay Stansfield up top, with a special mention to Junior Dixon, who, yeah, scoring goals for fun for the under-21s. It's not the same level, like, by all means, but he'd probably do a lot more off the bench than what Scott Hogan would. So I'd have Junior Dixon and Ramel Donovan back on the bench. And probably Brad Mayo as well, because you never know, John Ruddy, he might get injured, but it'd give him some more experience around the first team, because you never know, we might need him for next year. So that's going to be my team, and the team that's going to come out with a 2-0 defeat, which is going to leave us languishing in 23rd and potentially 4 points off survival, with 2 must-win away games against Rotherham and Huddersfield, going into those games with the second worst away record in the division. So that's been an awfully depressing 17 minutes. I do apologise, but that's the feeling of every Blues fan, I believe, at the moment. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed somewhat seeing me ramble on in a very depressing tone. But yeah, remember to keep right on and stay forever true to the Royal Blue. These players aren't going to be here forever. They're going to go, and we'll get a new crop, a fresh batch of players who will guide us to the promised land eventually. That's some little optimism for you. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be back, hopefully with a win, but I don't see it. Cheers.